Hello and welcome, my Aries collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and crosswatchers. Welcome to your timeless work, career, and vocation reading. I am your reader, Markangela Lyons, Mal for short. They're my initials. I'm a professional witch, a professional intuitive, the president of Drawing the Circle Productions since 1998, author of 2 different books with a 3rd one on the way. The first one's called Spell Ingredients. The second one is called Words of Grace. Words of Grace does have a Kindle version available, and a link in the description box to that, when clicked, allows you to preview a good chunk of it for free, including the table of contents, which is mostly divided into chakra chapters. There are chakras in this reading. You may find it helpful. The only place to find the original version of Words of Grace that we had to edit down considerably to make it all fit on Kindle is over on patreon.com/drawingthecircle, as well as the only place to find my book Spell Ingredients at the time of this timeless recording, and the new one will be on there too eventually. We're taking our time with this one. It's a juggernaut. And our digital shop on Patreon is wonderful. We've got ebooks, we've got audios, we've got videos. The audios and videos have free previews now that you can check out. That was fun to set up, and I love it. You can follow us for free. My subscribers get a whole bunch of different benefits, a daily check-in pretty much every morning. I send them an unlisted YouTube live stream link, and we chat about the day's astrological weather, the magical applications, the spiritual implications, always ending with some kind of spiritual practice to send us on our way. And it's the wisest way for me to start the day, considering my work, career, and vocation. And you can follow us for free. 7-day free trial. My subscribers get a discount when they book me. They get all the extended readings, the part 2s to the part 1s. There's a lot going on over there, and I highly recommend being a creator on Patreon. It's just really, really wonderful. So if you feel so drawn, if you feel so called, click the link, look at the menu, and come Patreon on Patreon. Because I'm the Archangel of Lions. Woo! Markangela Lyons. But you can just call me Mal. Hi. I hope you are all well. Welcome, my Aries and your crosswatchers. They're crosswatchers. We're doing things a little bit differently this time with the work, career, and vocation readings, though the format is the same. It feels like the intention has shifted. So these readings might be a little bit longer than usual, but we will see. After all, it is Aries, the first sign of the series. So if you are new to the channel, we'll do some basic explanation. Lots of links in the description box to help you go deeper if you so desire. Work, career, vocation is called a 3-level of power thing. Caroline Myss, MYSS, spiritual teacher. We're using her archetype cards for the first card down, first 3 cards down actually. 3 lenses that you look at the larger things in life, like life purpose. This is really a life purpose read, but looked at through the lenses of work, career, and vocation, and we're going to look at the chakras involved in that to help you heal, do your spiritual alchemy, your shadow work, your spiritual awakening, who's you, what's it. So do check out the lecture in there from Myss. It's in the description box. It's the first of 3 lectures about the 3 levels of power, in this case, work, career, vocation. But the intention this time, like I said, is different. Just briefly, all of a sudden, all these NDE videos kept popping up for me on YouTube. That's a near-death experience. It's not a new thing to me. I've been doing this a very long time, the spiritual and metaphysical stuff, really since the 80s. So, and I just something said, listen to this. So I started listening to them, and, you start watching one, the next one, the next one, the next one comes, and it really is all about your life purpose, your pre-incarnational agreements, your sacred contracts, a brilliant work by Caroline Myss, your birth plan, right? You hear them talk about this, even atheists on there are talking about it, and then I just found out, like maybe an hour ago, that someone who was in a lot of pain and causing people a lot of pain just died. So I sent one of the videos to that person, so it's just not surprising that I'm doing a work, career, and vocation series now. So this whole series might be a little bit different in tone, because the truth is we all have things we agreed to do before we came into this life. And yes, the work, career, vocation reads are the money reads as well, although I don't call them that, because if money solved all the problems, this planet, I think, would be drastically different, right? So we're going to get some cards on the table. We're going to get 3 Caroline Myss archetype cards for the 8th chakra, hovering over your head, the home of the archetypes, sending down the codes to all the other chakras underneath them, shifting what we attract and what we repel, so that we have the free will to no longer delay what we can't, which can't be prevented, right? We will reincarnate to get it done if we don't do it this time around. So the next 4 chakras down, we will be using the Daughters of the Moon Tarot, the internal, internal feminine energy. For the masculine energy, the lower 3 chakras, solar plexus, sacrum, and root. Relationships in the physical world, we will be using the Mythic Tarot by Juliet Sharman Burke. Those will take care of the chakras from the 8th down to the root. So we are going to call upon the Whispers of Lord Ganesha, one of my favorite oracles. I love Ganesh. The Hindu elephant-headed god of success and prosperity. Like I said, money is part of these readings usually. But also the removal of obstacles, and we'll talk about that more when we get to the spiritual alchemy of the first card down. And we will end with a Matt Kahn healing mantra, because there is nothing like something to focus on mentally that actually is encoded, that as you just focus your mind, your intention, whatever on it, brings it into alignment. And that's what these readings are for. So really, if you want to take it personally, Aries, first sign of the zodiac, right? Personality, ego, the sense of self, and all of that. This is for you to have a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser life. In a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser way, but fulfilling your life purpose, your soul contracts, your birth plan, doing what you came in to do, which, is a hero's journey, and it's rough most of the time, more or less, give or take, location. So nothing like a healing mantra to help you do that, because as you do that, you're helping everybody else on the planet move forward and shifting to a more golden rather than leaded timeline, a more loving rather than fearful timeline, and hopefully taking all the people that you love with you. But everyone has free will, and there's an infinite number of timelines, blah blah blah, quantum, timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly. I think that's enough explanation. Let's get down into the divination. Both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath if you will. I promise you I will do anything I can within my power to help anyone fulfill their life purpose, work, career, and or vocation for a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser life, in a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser way, for a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser world, because I'd rather not go through all that apocalyptic stuff. Hard pass, swipe left. I am a hedonistic heart and a witch. So let's do it. The shift from explanation to divination happens in the still point. Breathe along if you like, and let's see what hits the table for you. Please take a nice deep breath. Doing what I came here to do, babes. Still point. Pantheonic override. Chill. A place for everything, and everything in its place, but all where it belongs in time and space, for the well-being of all and with harm to none, as we will it. So let it be done. Beloved pantheons of the divine, please, 3 cards face down, 8th chakra dynamic. What's going on? What are the archetypes for the Aries collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and their cross-watchers watching this video and drawn to this reading? What's going on in the 8th chakra of their work, first level of power? What's going on in their career, second level of power? What's going on in their vocation, their spiritual calling, third level of power? Now, we're going to get these next 6 cards down, and then we're going to flip them over, work, career, and vocation. I just find that more cohesive. I used to kind of read them as they hit the table, and it's too much. Please take a nice deep breath. Better to take it past, present, future. Still point. My goddesses override. A place for everything, and everything in its place, but all where it belongs in time and space, for the well-being of all, with harm to none, as we will it, so let it be done. My beloved goddesses, please, 3 cards face down for the Aries collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and their cross-watchers. What's going on? Heart, throat, third eye, crown. for their work, first level of power. For their career, second level of power, dominant career there. And what's going on? Heart, Earth, Third Eye, Crown. Oh, I'll take that one. I don't usually take flippers, but that feels right. Yep, and hit face down, just how I like it. In their vocation for this timeless work, career, vocation, right? That wasn't a potty mouth, that was a potty mind. It does happen. When you meet my family, it makes sense. Let's get lower three chakras, masculine dynamic. Now, just a note here, this can be looking at yourself from the outside in, right, at yourself. This can be you from the inside looking out at people, places, and things, relationships in the physical world. And it can be both, because mirroring happens, particularly with cross-watchers. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. My God's override. A place for everything, and everything in its place, but all where it belongs in time and space, for the well-being of all and with harm to none, as we will it. So let it be done. My beloved gods, 3 cards face down for the Aries collective and their cross-watchers. Outside in, inside out, relationships in the physical world, first level of power. What's going on in their work? What's going on in their career? That one popped right out, remember that. And what's going on in their vocation for this timeless work, career, vocation reading. Feels good. Let's start flipping. So you've got the God archetype in your work, the High Priestess on the inner, and the World card on the outer. I mean, you can't get more major arcana than that. Okay, here we go. So written on the card of each of these Caroline Myss archetype cards is the shadow attribute and the light attribute. The God is a masculine family archetype. There are 9 different families. There is also a feminine family archetype that has the goddess. So, you know, it's a brilliant, brilliant piece of work, this deck. So I call the shadow attribute lead, the light attribute gold, with 3 atoms in between on the periodic table, metaphorically speaking, that cannot be created or destroyed, only transformed, released, forgiven, surrendered. I just use the word alchemized because I prefer that language. It is simpler. So, in your work, you might be dealing with somebody who has this. You can have an archetype, a reason, a season, or a lifetime, and just because it's masculine archetype doesn't mean it can't show up in a feminine energy, because it does. It has nothing to do with biological gender archetypes at all. So you might be dealing with somebody, again, who has this, again, with a cross-watcher reading, it could be that way. So the lead, despotism and cruelty, using power to control people. If we see it in the outside world, then, we're here to deal with that within ourselves or within another. The light attribute, or the gold, benevolence and compassion, recognizing the eternal force within yourself and others. Well, that's a very spiritual thing. So this is bringing this into your first level of power. Your first level of power is survival, right? It's really lower 3 chakra dominant, but you get the World card there. So let's put this together. So you got the High Priestess on the inner. When it's a major arcana card and a chakra reading the way I do them this way, I mean, I can lay out a card for every chakra. Thank you very much. Been doing that for decades. But in this type of reading, it usually says this is all, in this case, 4 chakras syncing, right? In sync. I'll have that stuck in my head all day, but I'm not worried. So this is Isis as the High Priestess. Now, what does a priest or a priestess do? They are channels, vessels, whatever you want to call it, of the divine to work through. So if you are one of those people who have, I'm going to put this in air quotes, have a spiritual job like I do. I'm a mystical witch, darling, and an eclectic. I will take divine truth and wisdom wherever I can find it, but it's got to go through the Virgo filter first, right? Absolutely. Pay attention to your creative intuition, heart, third eye, crown. That's why I feel like this is lower 3 chakras, heart, third eye, crown, and then the 8th chakra, if you want to look at work, career, and vocation, 3 levels of power, Caroline Myss, genius work. So with that, really pay attention to what's going on inside of you, but also with the High Priestess, we know, soft of eye and light of touch, speak ye little, listen much, right? Really keep your eyes open, really keep your centers open, because the more that, even if you're dealing with someone who is, tyrannical, a despot and cruel, this doesn't mean you let them get away with that, but it does mean a benevolence and compassion, understanding that they must be in a tremendous amount of pain to do that, right? So we're really looking at, in a way, a narcissist in the shadow and an empath in the light, but that's, many degrees in there. It's all a percentage scale. So definitely divine feminine. And by the way, this is the maiden of the Maiden Mother and Crone in the Daughters of the Moon Tarot. So there is a certain innocence there, but also a great depth and connection to the spiritual mystical world. With the world. Lower 3 chakras. You're at the end of a cycle. Something's ending. I mean, we could take this into a geopolitical if you like. It's like, whoa, it's wrapping up. This is the Ouroboros, the snake swallowing its own tail around the goddess Aphrodite, who is, not Aphrodite, Hermaphrodite, which is the child of Hermes and Aphrodite, really showing that it's all one, right? Graduation, completion, the end of a cycle, but one of the snakes swallowing its own tail, we move into the next cycle. So I would also say, really pay attention at work to your lower 3 chakras. Every chakra has its own intuitive voice, but it's highly individualized for each and every one of us. Course in Miracles says point blank, there's a highly individualized curriculum for each and every one of us. So that's why really being authentic, being compassionate, recognizing the eternal force that there's only one life force. There's only one of us here. We just appear to be different in the illusion of separation. Just saying. All right, that's pretty heavy. Let's see what you got. Well, that makes sense. Ooh, that makes sense, and that makes sense. Okay. Ready? You got a child archetype. Now, the child, the victim, the saboteur, and the prostitute are the first family in the archetypal tree, according to Mace, and I agree with her. How we survive in the world. Very lower 3 chakra dominant, but we'll get there. Not all of the archetypes have sub-patterns. The child does. So you've got the magical child archetype, which I can relate to. And again, Aries is the child of the zodiac, the first sign. So, the lead, pessimism, depression, and disbelief in miracles. We all get there. We all have. It's not like 24/7, 365 every day of your life. No, does not work that way. Usually, otherwise, what are you on? Believing that energy and action are not required for growth. And yeah, I mean, that has a lot to do with our childhood, with our upbringing. I'm Generation X, so I'm like, I will work harder. I have metaphorically scrubbed my chakras with Brillos and bleach back in the 90s and the early 2000s. It's not unnecessary. It's really brutal. So the light that you're shooting for here, seeing the potential for sacred beauty in all things, the belief that everything is possible. Now, I would tag on to that, well, I don't know if everything's possible. How about what's probable? And we don't know the infinite probabilities of things, but so far I can't orb. So as soon as I can orb, well, I'm not going to tell anybody right away, but at least I will know everything really is possible, but it's probably not probable, whatever. So that magical child I have very, very strong within myself, obviously. Look what I do for a living. But on the inner, we've got Chokhmah here, the desert goddess, the 8 of blades, the keyword written on here, decisions. Now, Chokhmah is one of the spheres in the Kabbalistic tree of life, and if you're not ready to jump into the heavy-duty Judy of all of that, check out Anatomy of the Spirit by Carolyn Mace, because she lines up the chakras with the Tree of Life, and there's a lot. It was a lot. I love her work. So there is a decision here. Now, to me, the difference between a choice and a decision is as follows, just as an example. I think I'll have another cup of coffee. That's a choice. It will have a consequence, and the way I make coffee, a really delicious and energizing one. But a decision would be, no, screw all this stuff. I'm just going to sell the house and pick up the cats and, go raise my own coffee beans, right? That's life-changing. Just like a move to Guam or something, right? That's life-changing. So the magical child, depending on the alchemy there from lead to gold, where are you on the scale of lead to gold? But definitely we're looking at an element of air. Now, Eight of Blades, traditional tarot, Rider-Waite based, would be the Eight of Swords. So kind of being hemmed in by your own fears and beliefs and stuff like that on its lead side. But certainly if you're dropped down into the center of a desert, it doesn't matter which way you go. Yeah, it kind of does. But, you know, it can be that place of... Now, the great thing about eights is that they are numbers of manifestation. So it's not like this is a bad place to be, but the belief that everything is possible needs to be parented by a loving heart and a clear mind. There we go. That was good. Thank you. Because then you got the full major arcana, Dionysus, for once without his thrices, ready to take a leap into the unknown there. Now, considering you got the world, now this is not a past, present, future. This is all happening simultaneously, like your life purpose refracting like a rainbow. Can you taste the rainbow into your work, career, vocation? But the next card after the world is the Fool. But the Fool is not the first card of the major arcana. Its number is 0. So it represents what? Everything is possible, right? So powerful here, but certainly a leap of faith, a new beginning here. And for a child, right, how we start off this world as children, and to also have the Fool that will then step into the magician and make a decision of some kind, which we also see here in the Eight of Blades. So yeah, sure, third eye, but also throat, right? You can breathe air into your throat, that element of air, to get that your choices and your decisions are yours. You have free will. We all do. Obviously, on planet Earth it would seem that way. But it's like a video game. We can't change the codes once we're in. Right? Gotta play your way through. Or you croak and come back and do it. I'm trying hard to have that not happen. Oh, this is wonderful. In your vocation, well, we got some more here, and you've got major arcana in your lower 3 chakras all the way through. We'll get there. The Servant. A healing family archetype. I am a Virgo. I have the servant archetype pretty strong, considering what I do for a living and the options I could have taken other than this work. So the lead, using lack of money as an excuse not to move forward with life. Sure, we all come to those places in our lives, but that's being an indentured servant, right? It's like, well, someday when I pay off all my bills, I will then do my spiritual whoozywhatsis, right? It's a lot. I've been there. I don't live there, though, where I do live. Delight in serving others with a free and loving heart. This is part of my vocation for sure. So how lovely, right? A healing family archetype, right? So of the 9 different families, you've got masculine in the work, interesting. You've got survival in career, interesting. And the magical child on top of that. And the servant in your vocation. So your spiritual service, your spiritual calling. We're all here to serve in some way, shape, or form. Even if it's primarily through our own healing. Like you don't have to put up a shingle. Right? You don't have to be a reader. You don't have to reiki, schmeiki, eggs and bakey, unless that is your calling to do so. And with the 4 of Blades, deception, the key word, we'll go into it in a minute because it might not be that necessarily. We see what looks ordinarily like the 2 of Swords in the Rider-Waite Tarot, blindfolded, sitting on a really uncomfortable bench with some swords crossed across her chest, but then 2 hidden beneath her that she may or may not be aware of. Maybe she knows it's there, but she's trying not to acknowledge that it's there. So I would say with going from the High Priestess in your work, like really channeling something through, right? But soft of eye and light of touch, speak ye little, listen much. Here with that 8 of Blades, it's okay. It's okay. You're still putting all the information together to make a wise, loving, empowered decision here. But then Four of blades, four of swords, the fours are about rest and stability. So this might be really seeing things differently by acknowledging there's something off here. Oh, and what are the chances that our belief systems that we've inherited from our ancestors and society for thousands of years have the most loving, wise POV on this stuff, right? Slim to none. There's always a higher truth, right? It couldn't have happened any other way. Because then you got, here we go, this is why I know it can't be that bad, because you've got the chariot, right? Aries with the light horse and the dark horse. The light horse is inspiration, the dark horse is motivation, and I do it every day, we all do. Oh, I'm going to do the best that I can today. I'm going to do this series, I'm going to integrate what I'm learning, It's like, okay, but I gotta get coffee and I have to go run to do that and I gotta do that and I gotta get the lights ready, right? So it's very emotional driving forces, the carrot and the stick. So again, lower three chakras, you go from the world in your work, and again, this is not past, present, future. So you've got the world in your work, the fool in your career, a real taking a leap, and in your vocation, just charging forward. Right, really, it's often called a Cancerian card, a water card, even though we got a god of fire here with Aries, Mars energy, really moving forward with momentum. But at the same time, maybe knowing that you don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just going to start serving and doing the best that I can here. And yes, the Aries energy there, definitely masculine energy, right? Lower three chakras, putting it out into the world, moving forward. But at the same time, there could be great humility with that. That's what allows a bit of a freer and more open heart. When you serve and say, I don't know exactly how to serve, it's an innocence that we can bring to the table. And by the way, like I said, the maiden here, so to speak, with the high priestess, this is a really, really lovely, lovely read, but not without its challenges, because it's your life purpose, right? What do you want? What do you want? Oh, you clean a lint trap. You're done. There. Hope you enjoyed your time on planet Earth right now. We come in for a bit more than that. So, the chakras are on the track. Let's ask Lord Ganesha what he thinks about this, and to help you remove some of their blocks, right? And remember, God of prosperity and abundance, but to remove the obstacles of those three atoms between lead and gold is the tea, the shade, and the pink lemonade. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Lord Ganesha, override. Place for everything and everything in its place. Put all where it belongs in time and space. For the well-being of all with harm to none. As we will it, so let it be done. Beloved Lord Ganesha, what is your counsel? Your wise, loving, empowered, and empowering oracle message to assist the Aries collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs and their cross-watchers who are watching this video and drawn to this reading fulfill their life purpose in their work, career, vocation with this servant, magical child, God contract for this timeless work, career, vocation read. Personal transformation. Aries first house, ego, personality, soul. So it is all within you, right? The body is a holographic map connected to all there is on planet Earth, apparently. So it's been said. So that's why, as we heal ourselves in any way, shape, or form, we're shifting, really. It's not that we're healing everybody on planet Earth. We're just shifting to a timeline where they're healed or healing in process. I know, it's very Doctor Who, very timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly. Got a little Douglas Adams thrown in there, too. Personal transformation. Oh, sorry, it's a 35. That looks like a 36 because they got them their fancy fonts. You kids and your fancy fonts. Personal transformation. Just going to read a little bit of this. Your soul is assisting you with creating changes to align with your life's purpose. It's a life purpose. Reading, folks. Ganesha is pointing to the heavens. Yes, he is. He's pointing to the heavens, and encouraging you to be open to new ideas and growth of your spirit. Listen to the still small voice within. Well, I think we certainly have that there with the high priestess. So it works. Soft of eye, light of touch, speak ye little, listen much to that voice within. You may have been feeling a strong desire to obtain or experience again a sense of meaning, inspiration, or purpose in your life. Well, yeah, that's on the table. This is likely a time in which you are making some significant adjustments in your life. These adjustments are helping you in the process of changing yourself from the old you to the new you. The World card there for sure. And you will soon benefit from a fresh perspective on life. You're in a great place now for honoring the person who you truly are or want to be, rather than simply following a routine that has little meaning to you. This is a profound spiritual journey that you are experiencing. Probably a career journey with the Fool there. This is a profound spiritual journey that you are experiencing, which brings greater meaning and purpose into your life. This will renew your inner energy. So, of course, there's going to be some mental stuff going on there. Like I said, we all incarnate into some of these just illusions that are just not true, right? Just, we're all one. Boom, right there. Start there, work up. Anatomy of the Spirit. Caroline Mays. Every chakra's got a sacred truth. It's a good place to start, just saying. So, let's get our last card down. Matt Kahn Healing Mantra, because I would think with the element of air that you've got in your so probably like things you're dealing with stuff at work, even if your work is not where you make your money, by the way, like that's not how I have it. My work is as the president of During the Circle Productions, but that's not how I make the money. That's all the behind the scenes stuff. I'm a producer. Well, it's in my career that I do that as a teacher and a healer and a mystical artist and all that stuff, and my vocation is as a mystic. So if I don't keep that in alignment, the rest of it don't fly. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Ascended Master Override. A place for everything and everything in its place, but all where it belongs in time and space. For the well-being of all and with harm to none, as we will it, so let it be done. Beloved Ascended Masters, one card in clarity for the Aries Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs and their cross watchers. What is the perfect and precise healing mantra to assist them in fulfilling their life purpose in their work, career, vocation, in this servant, magical child, God read, removing the blocks through personal transformation, this timeless work, career, vocation read. Dissolving judgments. I don't have to like the actions of others in order to love my journey. Girl, guy, whatever, sorry. I think we should all change our pronouns to the royal way, personally. It acknowledges unity as well as individuality. So this could absolutely be somebody dealing with a despot at work, right? Despotism and cruelty, right? Been there. I've had those. That's why I started my own company in 1998, right? I was tired of not the corporate grind. I started my own S corporation, but at least it's my grind, and no one's trying to grind me into a fine dust under their heel. So you don't have to like the behavior of others in order to love your journey. In fact, it's not much of a hero's journey. It's not much of a personal transformation if there aren't demons, dragons, vampires, and villains along the way. And that's their contract, right? They contracted to be that way in this life to help us learn how to heal ourselves, right? And how to transform. Well, I mean, if you've ever dealt with a toxic narcissist, my dad was one, God rest his soul. He was born on Flag Day. Look it up who else was born on Flag Day. I incarnated specifically for this time, I'm going to say. And, he taught me what not to be. But it was my free will. Could have ended up just like him. Okay. That being said, I feel sort of naked, except it's in my next book, so... Not that naked. Not that naked. It's not like it's a new story. Oh, that book. The next book. Ooh, girl. Guy. Being. Dissolving judgments. I don't have to like the actions of others in order to love my journey. It's a good one to memorize. When judgments are dissolved, You don't have to enjoy the actions of others in order to glean benefit from them. Just gave you an example. When you know that every moment has been created to help each soul shine the brightest. Now that is a truth. Of Course in Miracles says this is not happening to you, it's happening for you. But that's a higher perspective. Not everybody lives there 24/7, not even me. Instead, you are able to appreciate the positions life has put you in as evidence of your evolving mastery in form, meaning that in the higher levels, we are all of that. We are the gods and the archangels and the masters and all. It's all one. But to experience that in physical life, it's quite a high five moment. I'm going to say, right? When you're like, oh, I mastered it, right? Such a good feeling. But personal transformation is the journey getting us there. This mantra is ideal for learning to speak your truth, cultivating empathy, there we go, from narcissist to empath, and trusting the universe, which is really fucking hard. But it is a journey. And, you know, I've never had an NDE, not in this life at least, right? My revelations and experiences mystically have come other ways. But certainly I've been at that door where I've been saying, get me the hell out of here. Get me the hell out of here. No, I don't trust the plan. No, yeah, you keep telling me this. I stared at my vision board. Whereas if the universal laws as taught worked the way as taught, it's sort of more the ego's version, this world would be radically different, right? How many billionaires would there be on the planet if all of that stuff worked, right? And it's not that there aren't universal laws. It's a journey, and we sign up to do stuff. So, I don't know, we can't really change our contracts when we are down here, but we can fulfill them, which is different than completing them, in my opinion. That was a lot. Okay, if you're new to my channel, we always end with what I call a blessimation. It's a word we came up with over on Patreon. It's a blessing and a summation. I really don't know what's going to come out of my mouth when I do these readings anyway. That's why I do like a good half-hour prayer before every reading I do. Really, not just here on YouTube, but with clients. But the blessimations, I really have no idea. So let's see what comes out my mouth, shall we? One last time for this read. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. May we end as we began. Pantheonic override. As I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine on behalf of the Aries collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs and their cross-watchers who are watching this video and drawn to this reading, may they be blessed with all that they need to fulfill their sacred contracts, their life purpose, in their vocation with a delight in serving others with a free and loving heart, taking maybe some mental rest, some meditation, some healing time to see past the deceptions that they've inherited or picked up along the way so that they move forward in their vocation at a rapid pace, balancing the inspiration and the motivation, the carrot and the stick, to fulfill that aspect for this read. And so in their vocation, they can see the potential for sacred beauty in all things, embracing the belief bit by bit, perhaps, that everything is possible. And that can be a very life-changing decision in terms of a mental attitude. For some people, it's drastic. For some people, it's gradual. But nonetheless, it is a leap of faith that should they take it, their career will move forward into a new phase. Because in their work, they have the opportunity to experience benevolence and compassion just by recognizing little by little the eternal force within themselves and others. And soft divine light of touch, speaking little and listening much to that inner voice within, to that spirit, that intuitive heart, third eye crown that attaches more importance to unity than the ego mind does, because they are at the end of a cycle but a graduation. They completed some test, they completed some obstacle course. There's just a feeling of leveling up going on here in the physical world, in their survival intuition, as a result of the personal transformation that they've probably been doing for a while. And if not, then they're really getting it is time, and it is happening now. so that they get to dissolve judgments, because they don't have to like the actions of others in order to love their journey, because they're heroes on a hero's journey and they're doing their best. And they have this power within them and the free will to be a villain or a hero on the hero's journey. So may they be blessed with all that they need to heal, to grow, to learn, to evolve, to alchemize their shadow to light, their lead to gold, their pain to peace, shifting them from toxicity to health, from fear to love, and from illusion to truth, fulfilling their sacred contracts in the plan, as it were, for happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser lives, in happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser ways, for a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser world, for all wanting that, for the well-being of all, and with harm to none. As we will it, so let it be done. So mote it be. Rawr. And so it is. What a fun read. I mean, not really a whole lot of womp womp going. I mean, oh gee, you have to deal with somebody whose behavior you don't like? Just you? No, kidding. That's all of us. We're all dealing with it one way, shape, or another. So if you found this video helpful, if you found the reading of use, please hit the thumbs up. The like button helps other people find it. You want more of me here on YouTube, please do subscribe, because I'm not stopping. You can see I have a field day doing this. It's a great way to let the energy move through me and out into the world. I don't even have to leave my house. How lovely. But if you want the deeper dive, more magic, more miracles, more mysticism, more moi, come Patreon on Patreon. I'm telling you, I'm having, you think I'm having fun here. Oh, they get advanced content that eventually everybody else sees. Most of it is exclusive content. My subscribers get stuff that nobody else sees unless they're subscribers, but I do put out exclusive content for our free followers as well. We're getting more and more and more of them, and then they can subscribe whenever they want. $3 a month USD as a seeker. Throat chakra decision, excuse me. Your choice, your free will to do so. $3 as a seeker gets you the daily check-ins, gets you the extended readings, and gets you the extensive discount. You can 7-day free trial. There's all sorts of cool stuff, but I really have to say I'm very, very proud of what's going on over in our digital shop. The books, the videos with previews, the audios with previews, people are buying them. It just tickles my heart. I made a lot of that stuff a while ago. So it's fun to see that, and with the new book, there's all new stuff coming down the pike this year and next. So click the link, check it out, and come Patreon on Patreon. I'm the Archangel of Lions, Markangelo Lions. But you make holy Mal, and I'm doing my best to fulfill my role, right? Fulfill my purpose, what I came in to do in this life. And one of those things is taking clients. Now, I did make a video for my 25th anniversary called Booking Private Sessions with Mal for Drawing the Circle. I'm single, thank God. And it explains everything basically that you need to know about how to book a private session with me, a reading or a spiritual counseling, but I moved. I made that, I didn't know when I was living in Holbrook, Long Island, oh my God, that I would be moving to Saratoga Springs, or I had no idea. So I have to make a new video, because for example, I am now available for readings at the Magic Moon in Saratoga Springs on Phila Street, that's Phila Street, and a lovely little parking garage right across from it, lovely. So you can contact them directly, you don't even have to go through me at all. I have days set aside, and they tell me somebody's booked, I come in, I read you, then I come home and I do this stuff. That's my work, career, and vocation pretty much encapsulated. But the video does explain what I charge, why I charge, what I charge, the Patreon discount, all that stuff, and my code of ethics, what I will, what I won't, what I do, what I don't, as a reader and a spiritual counselor. Like, for example, the majority of clients that I have obviously are done on video. So what I do is I send them a Zoom link, they jump into it, we record the whole thing on video, so they have every moment of it. My clients do not have to memorize anything or take notes, because they can always watch it back, because I send them the link, they download it onto their device, they tell me they downloaded it, and I delete it from the cloud. No, I have to keep my cloud clean, cloudcleaner.com, and total confidentiality is really what it's about for me. So I am a safe space, people. I've been doing this for a very, 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 very long time, and I love it. I love doing readings. This is part of my service, and I do it with a free and loving heart that I gotta pay the bills. There ain't nothing going on. Well, at this point, the kitten care. Oh, I got a new kitten. You want to see a picture? All right, there he is. My Sammy, oh, I love him so much. He's really brightened up the house quite a bit. A little Crabby-ass cat. I love him dearly. I didn't know that I was going to do that, but there we go. It's the power of magic, darlings. So look, I thank you all so very, 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 very much for watching this video. I do hope it helps, and by all means, comment. Reach out if you need help. We're all in this together, and particularly, I've served a lot of servants along the way. So hang in there. I believe in you. You got this. And remember, this isn't just for you. This is for the well-being of all. So have at it. I love you. Heal, hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.